Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So people, why do people want Oscar Valdez to lose to Shakur Stevenson? Okay, so a few things about them. They're both Olympians. Valdez was an Olympian in Mexico. Shakur Stevenson, an Olympian here, silver medalist, right? But there are a lot of people who just don't want to let go what happened with Oscar Valdez and the A and B samples that came back dirty. And a lot of people feeling that what he was able to get away with was because of him being having such a close association with Saul Canelo Alvarez, and being involved in that camp. Now, according to Valdez, and he went on and still fought after he tested positive for that substance. He was still allowed to fight and keep his titles, and he won that fight. But this is the issue. A lot of people are saying that that's a foul. He shouldn't have been allowed to fight. And I can understand that. According to Valdez, that substance was in a tea he drank. Now, you know, these guys always have a dog ate my homework type of story, okay? But for some reason, they allowed him to continue to go ahead and fight and keep his titles. But you have a guy like Victor Conte who comes out and he's talking about what happened. He's talking about the WBC's, man, sit in his chair so much, man, he gets sore. Talking about the WBC's clean boxing program. And Victor Conte even came out and said that he's personally, because remember, if you guys don't know, Victor Conte went to jail for giving athletes a lot of bad substances. Because Victor Conte knew what the loopholes were. And according to him, some of those loopholes were so big you could drive a truck through it. So once he found the loopholes, he just exploited it. And he did a lot of wrong things. He paid the price, came up, cleaned up his act, had the snack product, and people are starting to, you know, work with him more, especially over the last couple of years. So he's kind of back in business, but it's still, some people still watch him with a little bit of, you know, a little stink eye, put a little stink eye on him. But he goes on to say, with this substance in particular, it's called phentermine. He said that he's given that to athletes. And he says he knows what it does, that it's extremely powerful. It's like a methamphetamine, according to Victor Conte. And he says that these performance enhancement drugs, some of them they all do different things, but this one in particular is like a central nervous stimulant. He said it accelerates your heart rate and gives you energy, gives you endurance, and it like improves your stamina. So it makes it easier to breathe, and your training time to exhaustion will be much longer. So when you think about what that particular drug does, and to try to say you just coincidentally got that in your system by drinking a tea, come on, man, knock it off. Not something like that. You know, not something like that. Not something like that a lot of athletes take to open up their lungs, give them the extra boost of energy, ensure that they can fight longer, fight harder, okay? It's just not going to kind of, you know, arbitrarily just inadvertently fall across something like that and drink a tainted batch of tea, okay? But there are a lot of people who don't really feel that Oscar Valdez deserves to be in this position, because what it does is it casts a dark cloud over all of his past accomplishments. And it's like, okay, he got caught now, but how long has he been doing it? And I think it's only fair for people to feel that way. But at the same time, what happened, and I think we need to understand that it's not for us to sit here and keep applying pressure to this guy and making and finding him guilty on something when the ship has already sailed, and now here he is about to fight Shakur Stevenson. So say what you want. Okay, he's involved in VADA. His samples are coming back clean now. He just fought Burchelt. And no one really gave Valdez, much of a chance to win that fight because Burchelt was just a monster, and that was a tough fight. But probably knockout of the year when Valdez was going backwards and he let that hook go. I think it was a hook he hit him with. And Burchelt just crashed to the ground and just was not moving. And when you have that kind of power, okay, you can't help but give him a chance in a fight. Now, the problem with Valdez's opponent is Shakur Stevenson is like Mayweather. Shakur Stevenson is I'm not even going to say like Terrence Crawford because, excuse me, Shakur Stevenson is young. He's like a pretty boy Floyd. Boxing, he's got power, respectable power, and it's just hard to get him in a compromising position. So when you can have all the power in the world, it's not going to matter when he gets in there with Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion. Shakur Stevenson's, his legs haven't gone, they're not going in it, and they're not going to become weak anytime soon. Shakur Stevenson is just one of those talents. He's just one of those guys who come out here, man, and he just shuts people out. Winning titles at 126, bubbling up to 130. He's just a guy that no one's going to beat. I just don't see him getting beaten anytime soon. And after being 24 years old, two division champion, that speaks volumes. And for a guy like Valdez, I'm not sure what Eddie Reynoso can do, what Canelo can do. They can get him in the best shape possible, but how do you get someone, who do you find to spar with that can really prepare you for what Stevenson's going to do? That's like trying to find somebody to prepare you for Mayweather or for like Pacquiao in his prime. The way Pacquiao in and out, the hand speed, the weird angles, you just can't find someone who can really emulate those styles. And for a guy like Stevenson with such an IQ, such a really, solid foundation in boxing ability, it's just hard to find somebody, man, who's going to be able to emulate that. So when you get in the ring and you compete against Stevenson, you find yourself retaining your title and picking up a new one. I just don't think that is going to happen. I think Shakur Stevenson wins this fight. A lot of people and myself are looking at the sparring partners of Valdez and Stevenson. Pretty much the high-profile sparring partner. Valdez, Mexican, Eddie Reynoso. Of course, he's sparring with Canelo. Stevenson on ESPN, he's with Top Rank. But, he and Terrence Crawford are always sparring. They're very close. He's like a little brother. So he's getting good work. So this is what really annoys me. Some boxing fans are saying, oh, because Valdez is sparring with Canelo, that means he's going to beat Stevenson. Because Canelo can beat all of those guys. That's stupid. And then there are some people saying that Terrence Crawford is one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, and he's getting that work. He's helping Stevenson get really good work, and for that reason, Stevenson is going to win. And that's stupid too. The bottom line is they're both getting outstanding work. They're both doing what they're supposed to, which is getting the best shape possible, develop the best game plan possible for the fight. But the reality of the matter is, Stevenson is the boxer, puncher. He's got the legs. He just has the IQ. And Valdez, his only chance of winning this fight is to land something big. And he's just not going to be able to close the distance. He's not going to get Stevenson on the ropes. He's not going to be able to hold him there. The only chance Valdez has is to make this a Maidana 1 against Mayweather 1 type fight. And what I mean is show no respect. Fight him dirty. Bang him, bang him to the body, bang him in the head, behind the head, put his forearm in him. Like he's got to put so much pressure on him, but coming with shots behind it. You just can't walk in on Stevenson, just can't walk in on Floyd. You got to give him something to think about. And I think he has to catch him cold. I think as soon as the fight begins, he just needs to be, as soon as it comes to the middle of the ring, just pounce on him. Catch him cold. Stevenson's not going to be ready for that. I'm telling you, he's not. He's not going to be ready for that. When I say catch him cold, I mean pounce on him, not coming with the jab. I mean just as soon as the referee said, they say fight, just immediately rush at him. Immediately rush at him. Dip low, throw overhand right, and just coming behind that. Stevenson's going to be looking for a jab or someone leaping in with a hook. But I mean, like, dip, because he's right-handed. Stevenson fights southpaw. Dip to your left to get out of the way of whatever Stevenson's throwing, throw a looping overhand right hand, and then just from there, man, just run into him, try to get him off balance, and just start to let your hands go. And then let the referee break it up, give you a warning. That sets the tone for the fight, for Stevenson to kind of sit back and kind of figure or rethink his game plan immediately. He needs to do something. Not Dillian White come out in southpaw position and don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, he's gonna have to do something to set the tone as soon as the bell rings. If not, Stevenson's gonna find a groove, and he's just gonna control the fight at his pace, pick him apart, get the easy win, pick up another belt, and go on to bigger and better things. But Valdez is gonna have to do that, and if he can do that, I think he'll stand a chance to get Stevenson to think a little more than he wants to, and as a result, he can. There'll be a lull in his decision making, a lull in his offense, which will open him up for a big shot from Valdez. But that's easier said than done against a guy like Stevenson. So we'll see what the two-time Olympian from Mexico does, and we'll see if Eddie Reynoso has his new Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia, he set sail. He got up out the camp. Now they have pretty much it's just Valdez and Canelo. I'm not really sure. I mean, Reynoso's touched on a couple other fighters, but as far as the really big names, it's really Canelo and Ryan Garcia, man. But there are some other guys he's been working with, Frank Sanchez. But there's some other guys from some lighter weights. Even Virgil Ortiz was there. I think he was with Robert Garcia. I think he came with Canelo. I don't even think he's in Canelo's camp with Reynoso no more. So not sure who else Reynoso has, but when it comes to Valdez, if he can come and defeat Stevenson, man, Reynoso will be looking for another Trainer of the Year award, because that would be huge. Just don't think it's going to happen. So that being said, man, very interesting fight coming up this weekend. It's unfortunate fighting the same day that Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano are fighting, but a lot of people just, when it comes to these fighters, I'm out there at some of these chat groups, man, about boxing, and some people really want this guy to lose. And my question is this, how many times are we going to have somebody, it makes you wonder, like, who else has a test positive for something and kind of get away with it, or get a lenient ban, a lenient fine, that's associated with Eddie Reynoso? Okay, I mean, things happen. I get it. But with a guy like Canelo, man, anyone else would have been raked across the coals. Now you got Oscar Valdez, but it's not like they're in two different camps. They're in the same camp. A lot of times when you find guys who are taking these banned substances and getting popped, they're not all in the same camp, under the same promotional banner. It's happening, different teams. But when you see, where there's smoke, there's fire, man. And I just don't think Eddie Reynoso can afford to have a third fighter who's underneath his auspices to test positive for anything, and it's supposedly as a result of Mexican beef or Mexican tea, or the damn guacamole, or the carne asada, or the damn whatever is going on, that someone ate a bad churro at the fair. So for any of you out there in the boxing, man, just stop eating that. If you're in Texas, man, don't eat that taco cabana, that Las Palapas. Just, even though that chicken ranch taco tastes good as hell, just leave that crap alone if you're in professional boxing, because you can't afford to get this stuff in your system. Anyway, man, I just don't think Eddie Reynoso can afford to have another boxer test positive for something, man. But we'll see how the fight plays out this weekend. I definitely have Shakur winning that fight, and I think he's going to win pretty easily, unless, like I said, Valdez comes in and he does something dramatic to make Shakur Stevenson really think about what he's doing. But I don't see anybody being able to do that to him. You know, when guys have such, and Valdez does too, but when you have guys have such expanded amateur backgrounds, and they've seen all styles from people all over the world, it's kind of hard to see them get in there and just allow themselves to become flustered. You know, unless, like I said, the guy just comes in and just does something super flagrant, super foul to get a huge warning, then that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the fight. But if he comes in there, you know, just trying to box or be the puncher, just try to win against a guy like Stevenson, it's not going to work. He's going to have to come in there and disrespect him. And, you know, it is what it is. And I always say, if the referee lets you kick and punch somebody and bite them and poke them in the eyeball, it's wrong, but do it. If they're going to let you get away with it, do it until they stop you. And I think this is a case where Valdez needs to come out and kick, bite, poke, and wrestle and do whatever he can until the referee says, all right, enough is enough. He's going to have to do something to make Shakur Stevenson really rethink his game plan and be like, what the hell? And once he gets him frustrated, that's where the openings are going to come and the big shots are going to come, and he's going to have an opportunity. He's going to have to seize it. But I just don't think, I don't think Eddie Reynoso's a dirty fighter. Now, if Valdez was with Robert Garcia, hell yeah, he would do that, because Robert Garcia would already tell him that's the plan. Go in there, fight dirty, and just win. And Robert Garcia didn't care, and he doesn't care. But I just think Eddie Reynoso's not like that. He takes too much pride in what he does, and I don't think he would want to take a victory knowing they just use dirty tactics throughout the whole fight. I just think his character and his brand means more to him than getting a win by being a dirty fighter. I just don't think that he would do that. I do think he would drink some of that tea and eat some of that beef, but I don't think he would want to do anything that blatant. You know, I just don't think he would do that. But anyway, man, leave your opinion below on what you think is going to happen with Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Like I said, I kind of think it's a foul that he was allowed to continue fighting, even though he had tested positive, retain his title, to be in the position he's in now. But he does possess some serious knockout power. His hands are heavier than Shakur Stevenson's, but he can't float like a butterfly and sting like a bee like Stevenson. I think Stevenson wins this fight easy as long as he fights smart, which is what he's always done. Can't see Stevenson doing anything different than what he's done in the past, which is win, win, win. That being said, like and subscribe. Keep safe. Appreciate the support. Shout out to all the veterans. And I'm in the breeze.